Hello, welcome to another episode of Airgun Reviews and Pesting channel. I changed the hunting to pesting since I do a lot more pesting than hunting, so still the same channel, just pesting has been added instead of hunting. Anyways, what I want to show you, this is a Gamo Urban. That is leaking from the fill area. There's a little hole right inside here, and it's leaking. Now, I had it fixed already, but then I thought about it, and I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and do a video. So, I'm going to show you which O-ring and how to repair your leak. This would be the most common area to leak is in this hole inside where you put the fill probe in. You have to take it apart, but first you have to make sure that the cylinder itself is degassed. Now, I went ahead and went further with mine because I'm doing some regulator adjustments, so you don't have to take the gun down this far like I did. Now this is my Gamo Urban bullpup, still a Gamo Urban, irregardless. It may be in my bullpup configuration, but it's still a Gamo Urban. Now this would apply to the coyote, the Gamo coyote, I want to say the Buccaneer too, if I'm not mistaken. If it has this style right here with the brass showing and an end cap that you remove, to cover up the fill port, then yes, the Buccaneer would fall in that category. So let's begin. You want to have some kind of pick. If you don't, then a fine thin screwdriver. Needle nose pliers, crescent wrench to degas the cylinder. What you do is you just take it and turn the gauge with a crescent wrench until you hear it leaking. And then wait till the gauge reads 0 or hold it up to your ear to make sure that it's degassing and make sure there's no more gas or air coming out. Not gas, but air coming out. Once that's all done, I want to make sure that this cylinder is degassed. I can hear it's no more. So what you want to do is take like a screwdriver, stick it through the fill probe, turn counterclockwise. We're going to repair this cylinder leak. If you can do this on your own, it's going to save you a lot of grief and heartache. Okay, here's another grief and heartache. Having to send your gun in for repair when you can do it yourself. If you're that type of person now. Now, if you're not willing to try it, then obviously don't attempt this. But for me, and as many PCPs that I own, it was in my favor to go ahead and try to learn as much about PCPs and repairing them, because I don't want to send a gun in. I already sent a FX Monsoon in for Ernest Rowe to work on it, and I figured it was more than I could handle, and it needed some new parts, like a new block assembly and a hammer assembly to make the gun shoot correctly. So in cases like that, yeah, I'll send it in. But I have other PCPs as well, so it didn't bother me to send a gun in. Now that you got this filling I want to call it a filling valve in your hand. You see how this O-ring is a lot larger? Well, you could still use it, but it's better. You could put it inside a cylinder and take a screwdriver and basically, you know, squeeze it in place and it will hold. But I didn't like that idea. I went ahead and changed the O-ring out. Okay, I got my new parts here. Let me show you the rest of the step. Okay, right here is a pin. You want to push that pin through. See the pin starting to come out on this side here? Push it through. If you can pull with your hands, pull with your hands. If not, use a pair of needle nose. Okay. You have a washer, spring. There's a valve assembly inside here, a black one. This faces down. Now, to get to that O-ring, you got to tap. Oh, a bolt came out of my stock. Okay, well, we'll put it back in here. Make sure that. Okay, hang on a minute, folks. I gotta get this back in here. There we go. Okay. This is what I pulled out of this assembly. Right there's the culprit. A lot of Gamo Urban, Coyote, maybe even a Buccaneer. When they have a leak, it's generally this O-ring right here. As you can see, it's kind of lost its shape per se. Let me pull it out and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. Now, this O-ring right here is damaged. Kind of flatten out. That's why you have to buy an O-ring kit with different selections of O-rings. If you're gonna own a PCP, you better get some O-rings. You can get them on eBay. Harbor Freight has O-rings. Amazon. That's just 2 boxes of 5 that I have. Got 3 more boxes of O-rings in standard and metric. So this O-ring and these 2 O-rings, in my opinion, are bad. But this is the main one, and that's the reason why it's leaking. Now, I'm going to reassemble everything. There is a filter that goes on the bottom, like this. You just drop it in there. Add the new O-ring. Just like that. Put it back in. Push down. Push down. You can make sure just, just push down. This black valve, the round part facing down, like so. Add the spring. Add the washer on top to compress the spring down, like so. Now you gotta get your pin, and this is the tricky part. You have to push this down, slide it across, screwdriver to help push down this washer so that it'll continue on to the other side. All right, let's see if we can get her. Get her lined up, push down. Come on, baby. It can be a little stubborn, but keep working with it, and she will go to the other side, just like that. Just got a little bit more to go. I can probably just take a screwdriver and tap it. There you go. All back together. A new O-ring on the fill valve assembly instead of using this one that has expanded. Like I said, you can reuse it, but why? You know, I got extra O-rings like I showed you. Water is the best way to find a leak. Second would be soapy water. But you have to be careful with soapy water, because if you don't wash it off with water, the soap itself can be very corrosive to the cylinder if it gets inside. Another place that would possibly give you a leak is the valve assembly itself right in here. Here is where the transfer port, this is the valve that the hammer hits, which releases the air up into the barrel and, you know, shoots the pellet forward. Sometimes this will leak as well, but not very often. Most of the time, if you have a leak, slow leak, it's gonna be generally this one right here. You have to disassemble this. Not very often I've seen the gauge part leak. It's always this right in here. So it's a very simple repair job. If you wanna go ahead and attempt it yourself, it'll save you some time sending your gun in and having to wait for it when you can do it yourself. Now I'm gonna fill this up. Uh-oh, what happened? There we go. Okay, now that's tight. Let's fill her up. Okay, well, we're not gonna fill it up. I guess I have a problem with O-ring. So this will be a good time to change O-rings on the fill probe. Remember, in your kit, it always comes with some new O-rings just for the fill probe. But since I don't have it handy with me, I'm going to find an O-ring in my O-ring kit. It's quite similar. This might be the one right here. We'll try it. And hopefully we can get this cylinder filled up so you folks can see what's going on. It was just too big. Okay, well, let's try something from the big one. Find an O-ring that will do the job. Let's see. This looks like this might be the one. Oh, it's slightly too big. Let me pause this until I get the right O-ring. Okay, got the right O-ring. It's filling up from a little guppy tank. And it's about out of air, so that's okay for demonstration purposes. Just want to show you the leak is repaired. Look at that, no bubbles. Water is your best friend. Just like that. No more leaks. That's good. So, this is going back into my bullpup. Just thought I'd share some info. These are the bad O-rings, one on the fill probe and the 2 O-rings on the fill valve itself. So it's 3 O-rings repaired, replaced. Like I said, get one of these, folks. Do your own repairs. If you're gonna play with PCPs, learn how to work on them. It'll save you a lot of grief and heartache and money if you do it yourself. Until the next episode, folks, of Air Gun Reviews and Pesting Channel, shoot straight and may your pellet hit the target. See ya.